Whether you simply can't get to the gym or you just want to train in the privacy of your own home, it's always good to have a wide variety of effective bodyweight exercises that can help you speed up your progress with losing weight, reducing your belly fat, and burning overall body fat. Now, of course, to lose weight and burn fat, you will need to watch what you're eating, but certain high-intensity exercises can really help you speed up the process and help you get into the best shape of your life right in your own home. So today I want to go over 9 of the best exercises you can do to lose weight without the use of any equipment. Now, to combine these exercises into a workout, you're going to want to perform each one of them for a minute on and then 30 seconds off for your break. Then move straight to the next exercise. The idea here is to move through all 9 of the exercises without taking any other breaks. But if you start getting tired, I'm also providing regressions, so don't worry. First, we're starting with the SpiderMan Pushup. To do SpiderMan Pushups, you'll start by getting into a push-up position on the ground, making sure that your heels, tailbone, and the back of your head are in a relatively straight line. Do not allow your hips to sink down and don't raise them up towards the ceiling. From that correct starting position, you want to start lowering yourself down for what looks like a regular push-up, but as you go down, you want to open up your hip and bring one knee up to your elbow. Then push yourself back up and bring that leg back to meet the other one so that you're back in a regular push-up position. Then you're just going to repeat the same thing on the other side and alternate back and forth for reps. Now, if these are too advanced, you could simply perform regular push-ups instead, and if those are still too hard for you, then for this exercise, you can also just drop to your knees and perform push-ups on your knees. Just keep in mind that you want to stay in a straight line and you don't want to raise your hips up even if you're doing it on your knees. Sticking the butt up in the air is a very common mistake that I see with this regression. With that said, if you have the strength to do SpiderMan push-ups in the beginning, but you can't do it for the full minute, perform as many reps as you can with the SpiderMan push-ups and then finish out the rest of the minute on your knees if necessary. Next up, we have squats, but we're going to perform them a little differently than usual, and that's going to be by not locking out at the top. This is going to make it much more challenging because it'll keep constant tension in your glutes, quads, and hamstrings, so you'll definitely feel your legs burning as you go. Start by spreading your feet a little wider than shoulder width apart and slightly rotate your feet outward. Raise your arms straight in front of your body and hold them there to help with balance. Before beginning, make sure that your chest is up, pointed straight ahead, and that you're maintaining a nice neutral curve in your lower back. Then drive your hips back, bend your knees, and lower yourself down while making sure to keep your weight over the middle of your foot. You shouldn't be up on your toes because that'll put a lot of pressure on your knees, and you shouldn't be on your heels either. Squat down until your hips are either parallel with your knees or a little under parallel. Then drive through the middle of your foot, extend your knees, and come back up, but right before you get to the point where you can lock out, you're going to want to go straight back into the next squat. And repeat that for reps. Next, we have a challenging one, the burpee sit-through. The burpee itself is a full body exercise that requires a lot of energy and really gets you breathing heavy. So when we combine it with sit-throughs, it becomes even more challenging. So if it happens to be too difficult for you, don't worry, I'll show you some regressions. So you'll want to start by standing straight up with your feet shoulder width apart. Then bend down, place your hands on the ground in front of your feet and hop your feet out into a push-up position. Lower yourself down for a push-up, and then when you come back up, you'll want to raise your hips up to create some space from the ground. Next, you're going to begin the sit-through by picking up your opposite hand and your opposite foot off the ground. Then you're going to kick your foot through as you bring your hand up towards your face and turn your hips until your butt is facing the floor. Then reverse the movement by rotating your hips back to where they were and planting your hand and your foot back on the ground. Then repeat the same motion on the other side. After you're done with the other side, you'll return back to that original push-up position and jump your feet back in towards your hands, stand up and jump up with your hands over your head. Then repeat for reps. Now, if the sit-throughs are too difficult or if you have problems with your shoulders, you can just stick to regular burpees where you would place your hands on the ground, jump out into a push-up position, perform a push-up, hop your feet in, and jump up. If the burpee is too hard, you can do regressions by walking your feet out instead of hopping them out when getting down and when getting back up. Just like before, you can also drop to your knees after getting into a push-up position to perform the push-up if you struggle performing regular push-ups. Next, we have the multiplanar plyometric lunges. To begin, you're going to want to take a big step forward and plant your front foot flat on the ground while coming up on your toes with your back foot. From the front angle, your feet should still be about hip width apart. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to keep their feet in a straight line, and that's going to make it really difficult for you to maintain your balance. Once you're in the proper starting position, lower yourself down by bending both knees and dropping your back knee straight down towards the ground. Now, right before your knee meets the ground, you're going to want to explode and drive up through your legs, jump in the air, and switch your feet. Then right away, go down into the next lunge and repeat. You're going to repeat this for 4 reps, and then you're going to stand straight up and go right into ice skaters. Here, you're going to hop to one side as far as you can, and you're going to land on one foot. At the same time, your other foot should come down behind you like you're doing a curtsy lunge, and you should bend down and reach with your opposite hand towards your front foot. Then explode from that position and hop as far as you can to the other side and repeat the same thing on the other side. Once again, we're doing this for 4 reps. Then you're going to go back to the plyometric lunges and alternate back and forth for 4 reps of each until your full minute is up. Moving on, we have the Pike push-up dive bomber. Now, with this exercise, we want to break the regular push-up rules a little bit. So our starting position is going to be on the ground, just like in a regular push-up, except this time we do want our hips high up in the air, also known as a downward dog position. First, you're going to perform a Pike push-up by lowering yourself down from that position with your hips up. This is going to help you hit your shoulders a little more than with a regular push-up. Then press your body back up and repeat again for a second rep. After that, we're moving straight to dive bombers. So from that downward dog position, you want to lower yourself to the ground for what looks like another Pike push-up, but as you near the bottom of the movement and your chest comes closer and closer to the ground, you want to drop your hips to the ground and press your upper body up so you wind up in what looks like a cobra stretch. Hold that for a second and then reverse the movement by bending your elbows and lowering your upper body to the ground as you raise your hips back up into that downward dog position, and then press yourself up until your elbows are fully locked out. Then repeat again for another rep of dive bombers, and then go back and forth alternating between 2 dive bombers and 2 Pike push-ups. Next, we're going to do squat thrusts. Squat thrusts look like a simplified version of burpees, but do not underestimate them. To perform squat thrusts, you want to first bend down and plant your hands on the ground. Then you're going to kick your legs out and jump into a push-up position. From there, you'll hop your feet back in so that your knees are almost touching your chest, and then repeat that for reps. Even though this exercise looks simple, it's definitely not easy. Just after a few reps, you'll notice your heart rate going way up and you'll start to feel pretty winded. Let's move on to the next one, which is the kneeling tuck jump. To begin, you'll want to start by lowering yourself into a slight squat while keeping your hands in a prayer position in front of your chest. From there, you're going to take a step backwards with one foot and lunge down onto your knee. Then you're going to take your other leg and bring that knee down to the ground so that now both knees are meeting. Next, you're going to lower your butt towards your heels before exploding off the ground and hopping onto your feet in a squat position. From that squat position, you'll now want to drive through your legs and jump up as high as you can. Then tuck your knees into your chest. Now, it's very important that when you land, you don't land by extending and locking out your knees, because that's going to put a whole lot of tension on them. Instead, you want to land in a squat position. Then from that squat position, you'll repeat the same thing. Now, if this sounds too advanced, you can do a beginner version by lunging back with one leg, getting down on that knee, and just like before, bringing both knees together. Then instead of jumping up into a squat, you'll step up with the leg that you originally lunged backwards on, and then you'll step back up into that original squat position. From there, you'll just perform a regular squat jump where you would jump up off the ground with your legs straight rather than your knees tucked, and then repeat for reps. Next, we're going to work the back while still keeping our heart rate up by combining mountain climbers with skydivers. You'll start by getting into a push-up position, and from there, you'll perform 8 mountain climbers by driving one knee up towards your chest and then alternating from side to side. Each time that you shuffle your knees, it counts as 1 rep. After you finish the 8 reps, you're going to lower yourself to the ground in a push-up position, and then once you're flat on the floor, you'll bring your arms out to your sides. Then raise your upper body and your lower body off the ground at the same time and hold it there for a 3-second count, and then lower back down. Repeat this for 4 reps. Then push yourself back up into a push-up position and go right back to mountain climbers. Continue alternating back and forth for the full minute. Last but not least, you're gonna move on to the explosive Bulgarian split squats. For this exercise, you'll need either a chair, a couch, or some kind of platform that's about at knee level. Stand a few feet in front of whatever platform you choose, and then take one of your legs, bring it back, and place your ankle onto the platform. Then lower yourself down by bending your knees and dropping your back knee towards the ground until you feel a nice stretch at the bottom. After that, drive through your leg and hop up as high as you can. When landing, again, you want to make sure that your knee is bent and not locked out. Then repeat for reps. For this exercise, keep in mind that we're only doing 30 seconds per side for a minute total, so you'll switch sides halfway through. Now, if it's too difficult to jump up at the end, just do regular Bulgarian split squats without exploding up. So after completing all 9 of these exercises, I recommend you take a 2 to 3 minute break and then go right back to the first one and repeat all 9 again. You can do this 2 or 3 rounds total to get an amazing full body at-home workout. That about wraps it up, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. And remember that to lose weight and body fat, like I said in the very beginning, you will have to definitely be eating the right things, especially if you want to see faster results. So if you're serious about hitting your goals and you want to take part in one of my programs where on average my clients are losing either 20 pounds or 5% of their body fat in just 42 days, then visit my website. With our program, you'll get a 42-day workout plan, which comes with an in-gym as well as an at-home version. And also you'll get a full video exercise library, a diet plan based on your body, a recipe book, and you'll get an accountability coach to guide you through the entire process. To apply for one of these challenges, you can just click the link below, or you can visit my website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.